Hey, what's going on, guys? Miguel here from Toy Quest 101, and on this episode, we're going to be reviewing the one-to-one Back to the Future prop replica of the Flux Capacitor from our friends over at Factory Entertainment. And that episode is going to start right now. Hey, what's going on, collectors? Miguel here as always, and welcome to this new episode of Toy Quest 101. Now, like I mentioned before, guys, I'm really super excited because today we got our hands on the one-to-one prop replica from Factory Entertainment of the Back to the Future Flux Capacitor, guys. You don't see this anywhere. I don't think anybody has a licensed piece like this. It's one-to-one, so it's scaled properly. It's super accurate so far from what I'm looking at. And guys, we have this here today to review for you guys on the show. Now, before we start, as always, guys, if you don't mind, please subscribe to Toy Quest 101. And don't forget to hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any toy reviews, statue unboxings, or any celebrity guests that might pop up on our show. Now, if you guys have been following us for a while, you know that we did a whole booth tour of Factory Entertainment, our partners, over at the San Diego Comic-Con. And our friend Tommy was nice enough to go over this beautiful piece for us, and he sent us one like he promised for us to review in person. And I'm really pumped up, guys, because I was blown away during the San Diego Comic-Con booth tour when he started messing around with this. And I think this is amazing for any fan of Back to the Future. This is really cool, especially if you have other Back to the Future statues or figures from like Hot Toys, Iron Studios, you name it, in your collection. Later on, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out one of those to have it here next to this so you guys could see, but I'm really excited. Now, usually we start off with a box, but this was double boxed in the brown shipper. There really wasn't an art box with it. There was a lot of foam and stuff, very well protected, but I did just take it out for you guys to see. So instead of doing a box review, let's just take a closer look at the life-size Flux Capacitor from our friends over at Factory Entertainment. Alright, guys, so you got to see the Flux Capacitor up close and personal, and I've also brought out my Iron Studios Back to the Future diorama so you guys could see what I mean about having this amazing one-to-one prop scale replica next to your Back to the Future display. I really think that this is the best accessory for you statue collectors out there, for your figure collectors out there, for anyone who loves Back to the Future. This is probably the best complementary piece that you could have with any of your collectibles. I think this is freaking awesome. So let's talk about the first thing out of the box, guys. We got a couple things here. First off, we got this plaque, which I absolutely love. Now, they only made 1,000 of these, guys, so this is very limited, okay? Now, this is about $12.99. It's priced very high, but I also think it's worth it. We'll get into the reasons why when we get into the review. And there's also a second version. This is an exclusive version signed by Christopher Lloyd as well. That's a little bit more expensive, obviously, because of the autograph. But if you're a true diehard collector, you could also purchase this with Factory Entertainment. Now, we got the normal piece here, not the signed one, which I'm okay with. But this is beautiful. I love this plaque because, again, it just adds to your display. And I cannot wait to put a display together with all my Back to the Future stuff, including this Flux Capacitor. Now, the other thing it does come with is the remote control to control the features on this, which we're going to get into in a little bit. And there is also this pamphlet with certificate of authenticity here, as you can see, and it's Back to the Future, which is really cool. And it tells you a lot about the piece itself, how it was made, and just everything about the actual product and stuff, which I thought was really cool. It has schematics of the car, how it works, it tells you everything about the relays and the labels and the piping and the sounds and all that stuff, which I thought was really cool. I love that about factory entertainment, and you see that here in this pamphlet, guys. So I thought that was a really cool added touch to have with your product. And again, I really think the price is worth it. You could always catch it on sale, guys. That's when I tell everybody to catch things. When it's on sale, you can get this on Sideshow. And we're gonna have all the links as well in the bio of the video for you guys to go ahead and get yours as well. Now, let's dive deep into some of the things that come with this flux capacitor, as far as features, as far as how it's made, and other things that go with it as well. Now, the first thing I want to say, guys, is that this looks very, very good. Like I mentioned before, guys, I do think it's great with your displays. Now this is about 13 pounds, so it's a little heavy, but it looks really, really good. Now, one of the things that I do like right off the bat, guys, which we're gonna talk about now, is the fact that this has two options here. It has an option here for batteries. If you just wanna have batteries in it, it's about 6 AA batteries here in the back. And it also has a plug for you to go ahead and plug it in directly to the outlet. Thank you so much, which I love that. I hate things that are just battery, but this is a really cool added touch for those features that we're gonna talk about in a little bit. Now, before we get to the light up feature and stuff, I'm just gonna go ahead and unplug it so I go ahead and turn it around on the turntable. But guys, as you can see, there's a lot going on here with this flux capacitor, which I thought was really cool. Now, guys, Factory Entertainment does a really, really good job diving deep into the archives, reviewing footage, and doing all kinds of things to make this as best movie scene accurate as possible. Now, this was hard as well because, as you guys might not know, the original car was actually restored after it was just laying there in the Universal parking lot after a while, and it was very hard to actually get to see the original flux capacitor. But based off all the archives, all the footage that they had and stuff, they were able to nail this pretty well. Now, some of the things up here on top might not be super accurate, but it does look really good. And after seeing the movie, I think they did a really good job, guys. There might be some people that'll nitpick certain things, but it doesn't get any better than this. And like I said, guys, there aren't that many, if any at all, licensed pieces this size, guys. Now, they don't recommend putting this in your car or your DeLorean if you have one, although I think it's a great idea. But this is a great product to have if you're a Back to the Future fan, like I mentioned, with your displays. Now, let's talk about this first. Now, I love that they put like labeling here in the front to look like the original, and it's really cool. It's pretty simple, right? But it looks really good. You're gonna see here, disconnect capacitor drive before opening. It says here, shield your eyes from the light, which I'm gonna show you guys a little later on. All the light features, which are absolutely my favorite. But this is really cool. Now, as you can see, some of these parts here on the top are, I believe they're like 3D printed, but they look really good. The paint applications look good on them. You're gonna see a lot of different types of, you know, tubes and pipes and stuff that they did. Some have a little bit more details than the other. You got some brass fittings here to make it look like that. You have some big exhaust pipes here as well. But it looks really good. I mean, I think it gets the job done, right? I mean, it's gonna be sitting in your display anyway, and you definitely know this is a flux capacitor. So I thought that was really cool. Now, here on the side, you do see some hinges to open up the flux capacitor, which I could go ahead and do right here. Okay, let's open that up. And then you're gonna go ahead and see the inside of it right here, so you guys can see. And it does have a lot of gadgets inside and LEDs, as you can see here. Now, there are some LEDs going around the inside, and that's for the time travel sequence. It gets really bright. And then you're gonna see these like tubes here as well, which makes the flux capacitor work, and you're going to see that in a little bit with the light up feature. And of course, you're going to see all these rubber parts and components brass fittings and stuff and all the electrical components inside, but it's very clean. It looks very good. Even the glass door looks good. You're gonna see inside the rubber seals and stuff. I mean, I think they did a really good job, and it's pretty accurate for me. I actually love it, man. I think this is really cool. And like I mentioned before, guys, I got to see this in San Diego Comic-Con, and I thought this looked amazing, guys. So I'm really happy with the way it looks. Like I said, you see a lot of details on the inside, even on the outside. I love the color applications. It's very simple though. Everything looks very simple, but it makes sense. On the side, you also see some controls here too. Now this is a side you don't really see in the movie because it's towards the passenger side and it's blocked by other things as well. So I don't know how accurate this is, not that I care, but you have a chance to go ahead and turn it on here to do the time sequence, volume key, and this is where you connect the actual flux capacitor as well. Overall, guys, I think this looks fantastic. I'm so excited to have this, guys. Like I mentioned before, you guys will not be disappointed if you have this or if you're trying to get it or want to get it. Once you get this, you're going to be absolutely happy with this. And like I said, man, for you guys who have those Hot Toy DeLoreans that are a little bit bigger than the Iron Studios ones or anything like that, this is the best thing to have as a complimentary piece for your displays. And that's why I love Factory Entertainment so much, because it has so many things to really complement your collection for their displays. But enough about that, guys. Let's talk about the light up feature. All right, guys, so now we're gonna talk about the light up feature and sound effects that come with this prop replica of the flux capacitor for Back to the Future. Now this is the most exciting part, guys. I'm so excited to show you guys this. Let's start off with the remote. Now you have a simple remote here, and it does say Back to the Future flux capacitor on it with the Factory Entertainment logo on the top. I love this though because you don't have to get up to, demonstrate this or demo this for, people who come to the house. I love that they have included a remote with it, and they have all the features on here as well, just like they do on the side. Now you have the power up, which we're going to turn on in a second. You have the time travel sequence, which is my favorite one. And you're gonna have the volume keys. Now, one thing to note, guys, like I mentioned before, Factory Entertainment does the best job possible to try to make this as screen accurate as possible. And all the sound effects that come from this flux capacitor are actually from the movie, guys. They got a hold of the master track, and we're able to simplify those sounds without any other noise. And you're gonna hear that in a little bit, which I absolutely love. This thing sounds great. It's pretty loud as well, so we're gonna go ahead and demo it right now. We're gonna turn it on. Really cool, guys. Check it out. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you the time travel sequence. It's going to be a lot brighter, so hold on. Now I'm gonna go ahead and try to lower the volume here, guys. Now this is really cool, guys. Like I mentioned before, all the sound effects are straight from the movie. And what I love about this is that it does show you both the sequences, the regular one and the time travel sequence, which is really cool. Now you see most of this flux capacitor in the first movie when they take out car A out of the trailer and Doc shows Marty for the first time. There is a glimpse at the flux capacitor, which is really cool. Now, what I love about these lights inside these tubes is that they're not just LED lights, right? It does give it that motion of that it's working. So I'm glad they just didn't use just any like LEDs for it. I really love the way it looks and the way it's pulsating, which is really cool. So they really did take their time in picking the right lights to go ahead and mimic that, feature from the flux capacitor. I think they did a great job with that. It's not like the LEDs that are wrapped around the door to give it that time travel sequence part. So I'm glad that they did that with these tubes. It looks really good, guys. And like I said, it's just pulsating, which is really cool. I really love that about these lights. They did a fantastic job with it. Now, when you get to that sequence, that's when those LED lights around the door go into work and it starts flashing. And I think they did a really good job with that. That combination with the noise or with the sound effects from the movie, I think this is fantastic. So guys, overall, For me, this is a home run for Factory Entertainment, guys. I'm so happy that they sent me this to review for you guys. I'm more in love with it than I was when I saw it at San Diego, because I get to play with it and really showcase, everything that comes with it, including the remote and the light up features and everything else. This is really fantastic. I'm really excited having it next to my Back to the Future display, or one of them. This looks fantastic. I'll be posting pictures on my Instagram of this together with other, Back to the Future, collectors, displays and figures and statues, so you guys could see how this looks with it. But I think this is amazing. They did a great job with this, guys. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Now, I know this is a little bit high for the price tag, but these statues and figures and the amount of work that goes into this does cost a lot of money, so I think it's priced very well. Like I said, catch it on sale, guys. When it's on sale, it's definitely worth it. But this is amazing. They only made 1,000 of these, guys. Again, they had the Christopher Lloyd limited edition one as well. We're gonna have all the links in the bio of the video for you guys to go ahead and check out our friends over at Factory Entertainment. Thank you so much, guys, for allowing me to review this on our show, guys. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe to Toy Quest 101. We'll see you guys on another episode. Bye, guys.